Welcome to Jenn's Creativity Corner. Today I'm going to be talking about a fun way to use leftovers and have a mystery dinner. So I decided to try this with pie crust and also with some egg roll wrappers. I'll talk a little bit about what I preferred in the end. Fillings like peanut butter and jelly, cheese curds, leftover turkey, some mashed potatoes, some baked beans. So a variety of whatever you have leftovers, or you can get things specifically for it. For the pie crust, I just followed the directions, made sure it was room temperature, and then took a cookie cutter to it. Filling them up, you want to make sure you get as much filling as possible so it's not just a whole chunk of pie dough, but you don't want it to squish out. And then I just took a little fork to crimp and secure the edges. The cheese, I will say, made the most mess, but it was probably the tastiest. Baked beans also was a bit of a struggle. It liked to leak. Peanut butter and jelly just worked nice, and actually that is apple butter, which was kind of fun because it looks kind of like the baked bean substance, so you don't really know what's in there. And then I did do a turkey liver and onion. I thought it would be fun to have one that was not really so desirable, but that's up to you. Then go ahead and bake them just until they are looking done, nice and golden brown. And then for the egg roll wrappers, they are kind of big just because it's a big commitment. My rule when I do these little mystery pastry dinners is you grab at random, and what you grab you eat. And so, you know, if you're doing a whole egg roll, you're not going to get a whole lot of options just because it is a decent amount of food. So you could cut them smaller or do wontons. I don't know, you can experiment with a bit, but go ahead and make sure they're secure and then fry them up. You can also put them in the oven if you want it to be a little bit healthier, but I say go ahead and fry them just until they are looking good. Make sure you turn them, and there you go. So the question is, what does each pastry hold? You really don't know. This one, for example, is PB&J, and then we've got the mashed potatoes and turkey. Alright guys, I decided to bring in the muscles here, and the stomach, and the taste buds. So I have not told my husband what is in these. I'm sure he could guess a little bit by the leakage on some of them, but he doesn't know if there's a combo or what. So I recommend a little milk water beverage just because it is a lot of pastry. Just throwing that out there. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have different kinds of dipping sauces too, I think. Like have, you know, maybe like a ranch, barbecue, soy sauce, like a chocolate syrup, just depending on what you have. Yeah. So that way once they get that initial bite, they can add a little bit of extra flavor and moisture to it. So we've just got a glass of milk here, but go ahead and pick your poison.
I'm gonna try this one that looks cheesy.
Yeah. Cheesy is safe. Peanut butter and jelly.
Cheese.
Cheese curd. Alright, the rule is, when you pick one, you have to eat it. You don't get to move on until you've eaten the whole thing. And there may or may not be an unpleasant one in there.
Is that turkey or chicken?
Turkey. I got turkey too.
Turkey. PB&J.
More PB&J. Not eating the whole thing. Because we're trying to get through them all.
Is this something else?
You don't know what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Baked beans.
Ah, baked beans.
More peanut butter and jelly.
More baked beans.
I haven't come across the gross one yet. We have all these little halves sitting around. It's dinner time. Excuse the full mouth while talking.
I've got my last one selected as soon as you're ready.
I have a few more on the pan, but yeah, go for it.
Turkey mashed potato.
think I got the bad one. I can smell it.
What is it?
Turkey liver and onions.
Smells good.
It's not that bad. Right now, honestly, my mouth is just extremely dry from all the pie crust, yeah?
Yeah. I think that's probably the worst of it. I'll eat whatever you don't want.
So what do you think about that size?
That's actually a pretty good size.
Versus something like this, because I feel like that's a pretty big commitment. You're not going to be eating a ton of these.
No.
So if you don't get what you want, too bad.
Yeah. Mind you, I could eat quite a few of these, but that's beside the point. Baked beans.
Cheese. I will say the egg roll is more pleasant to eat than all the pie dough.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got the wontons or just cut them in half and made that work. Yeah.
I'm sitting here considering this one that Jennifer put down at first.
Well, the thing about the egg rolls, it's even harder to tell what's in it, though.
Good bean Jay. So is there a bad one in this one too?
Are you willing to risk it?
Oh, you're asking me if I'm willing to risk it. Well, as long as I get to finish it afterwards if I don't like it. Or if I do like it. If I don't like it, I don't
If you don't like it,
finish
you can definitely finish it.
No, that's obviously. Very dry turkey liver and onion.
Yeah, I didn't put any seasoning or like gravy on it. So a fun dinner? I honestly thought that I would like the pies better, but I just think that texture and dryness, it's a struggle. I've tried it before with like biscuit dough or pizza dough. Then you have like the rising and the spreading and stuff. I definitely think that I would go with egg rolls. That is my choice, and just have some dipping sauces around. But even that is almost kind of optional because it does a good job at just being tasty. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us here on Jenn's Creativity Corner. I'm Jenn. This is Drew. And let me know if you guys try this out. What kind of fun leftovers or treats do you put in yours?